Hey, this is Troy Erickson from the Secrets of Scale podcast and Email Secrets. I'm back today with another student interview with Mary Laske. And she's had some great success lately. And I just wanted to ask her how she did it and how other people can do the same. How's it going, Mary?
It's going real well. How are you?
Really good. So tell me a little bit about how you got into copywriting in the first place.
Yeah. I have a similar story, I think, to a lot of people in 2021, 2020, 2021, where I kind of started this freelance journey out of a necessity from what happened with COVID. I was at the time a stay-at-home mom. We relied solely on my husband's income, and with COVID, he lost his job, which was, international travel and big live events, both of which shut down. So I kind of had a little fire lit under me, and there wasn't really, it wasn't like, oh, I could do this or take my time. It was like, no, we got to go. And I had been in sales and marketing for many years. And I think I started in May of 2020, just as like somebody's general assistant, doing everything, website stuff, emails, client, she was a doctor, so patient related stuff. And through that experience, I realized, wait, I love writing. I'm good at writing. And with the sales and marketing background, I saw an opportunity and then started to hear more about copywriting. And I was like, oh, well, I can do that. So I made my first $1,000 from copywriting in December of 2020. And that just got me even more excited. And I never looked back. I just kept taking off in that direction and didn't take on any other clients that weren't copywriting.
How did you feel when you closed that client?
A mix of excitement and shock. Like, oh my gosh, somebody actually paid me $1,000 to write for them. I think, for those of us who enjoy writing and we're writing, I'm not saying that, I don't get writer's block sometimes, but like it does come naturally to me. It is my zone of genius. I think sometimes we don't realize that that's not a natural thing for everybody. Some people hate writing. So for me, because I love it, the fact that somebody was willing to pay me to do it, I thought, this is crazy.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because I once heard somebody say, I was a beginner at this time. Somebody told me it's not that hard to get somebody to give you $1,000. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's like so hard. Are you crazy? And then like the more you get into this and the more you build a network, and if you just have like basic writing skills and you work on them every single day, it is very possible to do that. And that's like exactly what we teach in email secrets and just in general. So it sounds like you've had quite a bit of success since then. So in roughly 1 year, how have things gone from that first $1,000 client until today?
Yeah. So since December of last year, I was sort of slowly growing a little bit. It was like 1,000 and then 1,500 a month and then 2,500 a month. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And then 3,500. And then I finally got to 5K months around March. I think March was the first month I hit a 5K month. And from there, I think from the foundation I had laid, it was steady, and I could hold that nice and steady 5K. Just doing the things that I had always done, but I didn't really have a lot of retainer clients contributing to that. It was a lot of project-based stuff. So I was constantly looking for clients, always trying to, make sales and secure the next project, while also trying to pace myself so that I didn't end up with, 3 huge projects I'll do at the same time, which I have done, and learned the hard way about that. And then when I joined your group I joined in June, at the end of June, like right before, I think you raised the price around July, like July 4th weekend or something.
Right.
And I saw in there that people were coupling, the copywriting side with some of the tech stuff and the strategy. And my brain works that way. I have a very logical brain. And even though I didn't necessarily know how to build the sequences yet from a tech perspective. I knew in my head, like the logic of how things should flow. So watching the videos and being able to ask questions and put myself out there and get my copy reviewed too. I don't know if you remember, but pretty much like day one when I joined, I was like, can somebody read this and give me feedback? And it was scary. That was the first time I've like publicly had my copy reviewed. But it was so worth it. And I've learned how to write better emails. Even though I came into the group thinking I was a good writer, I've gotten better. You can always learn more. And then to couple it with list management, I now have one solid retainer that, I could not take on another client if I wanted to and just be nice and steady with that. And then like other projects that I do take on, or I have a couple other retainers that are like consultation type stuff that I've been hitting 10K months consistently, between 8 and 10 consistently. And my highest was over 16,000. So
that's amazing. And that's all in less than 1 year. And
yeah,
the primary reason for that, I would say, is networking and feedback and being a list manager. Would you say that's correct?
absolutely. I always, when people ask me like how this has happened so fast, I've invested both time and money. I've invested in both my skills and my networks. And aside from all of that, like I think those are what have helped me be successful. Community. I always say like somebody could have the same skills as me, but and you talk about this in our group all the time too, like that mindset piece. You have to have community with other business owners, whether they are, in my case, other list managers or copywriters, or just other entrepreneurs who understand the struggles and the mindset stuff that goes on. You've got to find community or else it's too easy to quit.
That's very true. Now, for all the things that you've learned and becoming a list manager, was it easy? Was it hard, especially given that, you were expecting a baby like coming up soon? Like, how did you shuffle all that and how hard was it?
Well, I think in total, I took like 5 to 7 days off after I had my baby, which some of that was, I was sort of pressured because I took on 2 clients right before I gave birth. But also, she's my second daughter, and my first daughter, I was a stay-at-home mom and I didn't do anything but sit on the rocker and hold her and watch TV. And so to me, working through maternity leave wasn't like a punishment, or I don't feel, I'm happy with how I went. But what did you ask me? You asked me.
Was it difficult at all
difficult
to learn to be a list manager while balancing all these things, or was it relatively simple?
It was, and I'm not trying to like purposely plug email secrets group, but I couldn't have done it without the group. Like I said, I knew like I have the logical brain to piece these things together, and I had worked in active campaign with a client before, but I had also made mistakes in her, in her ESP before. So having tons and tons of videos with strategy and like actual walkthroughs of the back end and how to set things up and how to set them up the right way. There's almost nothing that I needed to know that I couldn't find in the group. And if I did come across questions, I could ask. And, the names in our group, people would just jump in and chime in. And then I knew like who to call on when I needed help. I would tag certain people, and now you've got extra coaches in there. So I know that they are really helpful too. I really, it's been easy. Like, I don't want to say that like I'm not trying to dumb it down, but when you have that level of support, it's easy for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear. And just thinking about it, like, what is the number one thing that you would tell somebody who's like in copywriting and they're like, does this really work? Is this possible?
One thing, I think investing in the skills has to be top priority, because even if you have the networks, even if you have the community, even if you have all that other stuff and the tools, like you have to get good results for your clients, or else you're not really doing a good job. And you won't get referred. Like my clients refer me to other people because they love what I do. So asking for advice, asking for feedback, getting uncomfortable, getting reviewed in front of everybody. It's, even if it's uncomfortable, it's just something that you have to do. You have to get better at the skills, or else you won't have a business to stand on.
Yeah, I think the nice thing is too about like feedback, especially in like a Facebook group, which is a somewhat of a public setting, is that when you start out, you always think like, oh, everyone's gonna think I'm terrible, but you come to find out that like people are nice and they're in this group, and they're willing to like invest in themselves just like you, and they care and they try to help. It's much less scary than a lot of people think. So thank you for sharing that, and I'm sure that things are going well. I hope they're going well. Congrats. I know you're a new mother again. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that, especially since you have this awesome skill now and you know that you can always help provide. So that is awesome. And I'm very proud of all the work that you've done. And I know that you recently closed a pretty large guru as one of your clients, which is just amazing to hear. So congrats on all your success. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. And I think I said when I posted that win, or when I shared that win in your group, but really the email side of the skills that I've acquired since joining your group helped me land that big guru client. So I owe a lot of that to you as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And if anybody is watching this and you want maybe just a little taste of what's going on, like what Mary is talking about or how I coach email, there's a link right below this video. You can click that. It's called Email Secrets, and you can get a trial of it. So if you're interested, check it out. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. And Mary, thank you for being on here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.